leaders here at the zoo. And in a moment's time, we're going to be greeted by some of our seals. But before we do so, I just would like to acknowledge the beautiful land that we're all seated or standing on today. Now today we're on Camaragal land, where for thousands of years the Camaragal care for marine life, and we share this connection with our beautiful seals. And as you can hear, one of them is very eager to come out. His name is Diego, and he's a mature bull California sea lion. Now the California sea lions, like Diego, who we'll all be meeting in a moment's time, they're one of the most well-recognised species of seal found anywhere on Earth. And he's also quite a big boy too. He weighs roughly 250 kilograms, so let's make Diego feel very welcome. Now, Diego is a California sea lion, but he actually relocated to us 12 years ago from a zoo all the way over in Holland. Now, believe it or not, we all share something in common with species just like Diego here. I want everyone to take a look at their hands. Alright, now let's check out Diego's front flippers. In Diego's front flippers here, he shares the exact same bone structure that we all have in our hands. And now it's that bone structure in eared seals' flippers which allow them to move around and land with a lot of ease. So, how about we have a watch as Diego goes through a bit of a walk. Now it is a bit of a misconception that seals are clumsy and awkward on land, but in fact they're faster than us over short distances. And as you can see, he had no issues at all making his way to the very top of the wharf. But of course, we all know where seals do their best work, and it's in the water. Now the behaviour which Diego is demonstrating right now is known as porpoising or bowing, and it's a very energy efficient way for a seal to get around. You will notice when he breaches the surface of the water there, he's taking a quick breath of air. It's a great way to maintain speed whilst hunting down that prey or evading predators. Good job, mate. Now speaking of predators, our oceans are absolutely full of them, and that seagull might become a bit of a prey item if it's not careful. Little snack for Diego. Anyway, speaking of predators, our oceans are absolutely full of them. But there's one predator in particular that sometimes gets a bit of a bad rap, but it is vital to a healthy ocean. And Diego, I forget what it is, but do you remember? Any guesses what that might be? Shark, that's right. Good job, Diego. Now, although Diego looked like a shark right there, what he was actually doing is a natural behaviour known as thermoregulation. You see, Diego here being a sea lion, he's got a thick fur coat, but it's only those naked and hairless flippers which allow the heat back out again, allowing him to cool down on a day just like today. Now, at the moment, as I was saying, he weighs around 250 kilograms. He's a very powerful animal. Especially in that front portion of his body there, Diego can support the entire 250 kilos on those two front flippers alone, buddy, and that's a great job, a great demonstration of power. Well, Diego and I were only adding to get things started today, so we're going to give everyone a big wave goodbye. Thank you, Diego. And we're going to welcome out two friends of ours. This here is Bondi, coming out with Keeping Michelle.
Thank you very much, Jake and Diego. That's all right, Bond, I'll just step around you. Do you want to keep going? No, okay. This is the beautiful Bondi. He is a long-nose or New Zealand fur seal. And I'll let you in on a little secret. We're about to come into these guys' breeding season. So Bondi's head is in a completely different space right now. So we're going to see how this goes. But Bondi is one of our rescued seals. He was found on Bondi Beach, hence his name, when he was just a youngster. He had had a pretty serious run-in with a shark. So we came into our wildlife hospital. They nursed him back to health. And since that time though, he spent a lot of time with humans in our care, so he wasn't able to go back to the wild. Now Bondi, in saying that, has become an amazing ambassador for his species, and he's contributed to our breeding program, becoming the father of 4 beautiful puppies. So he's very proud of himself, isn't that right? Yeah, very proud. But Bondi is out here this afternoon to show us all the life of a seal. Life for our seals in the wild isn't always easy. Good job, Bondi. And human impacts are often one of their biggest challenges. But Bond, I think you did such a good job, so I've got a big bucket of fish for you. Now you might have noticed how incredible our seals are at catching the fish when it's thrown to them. And that's because of their very impressive whiskers. So Bondi, do you want to give everyone a closer look at your whiskers this afternoon? Good job, buddy. On the count of 3, once Bondi's back up, and do you shuffle? Keep going. Good job. On the count of 3, I need everyone to shout whiskers and watch Bondi's nose. 1, 2, 3. Whiskers! There they are. Good job, Bondi. On the end of each of those whiskers, Bondi has a tiny sensitive nerve fibre. And that's what allows seals to find their food when they're hunting through dark or murky water and they can't rely on their eyesight. Bondi here has a very healthy diet. On an average day, he packs away up to 5 kilos of fish. That's one of these buckets nearly filled to the top. But Bondi, what happens when that fish runs out? Sad, isn't it, buddy? You're getting a bit chunky, aren't you? You can't quite reach your nose anymore. It is sad, and that's because we are overfishing our ocean, so it's getting a lot harder for seals out there in the wild to find enough food. Bondi, do you want to join me at the water's edge this afternoon? Let's check the pool to see if you've left any fish behind. You ready? Have a look? That was terrible. You want to have a look? That's better. Did you see any fish down there, buddy? No. But is there something that we can all do to help? Yes, there is. Your choices matter. The next time you're wanting to buy seafood, you can choose MSC. The MSC stands for the Marine Stewardship Council, which are an independent non-for-profit dedicated to a sustainable future for our oceans. Choosing products with that MSC blue and white fish tick means that your seafood is sustainable, and that means more. Much more for those seals out there in the wild, more for us to enjoy, and more life in our ocean. So Bondi, which one do we want? That's right, choose MSC and you'll be ensuring a future for Bondi's wild cousins. That makes him a pretty happy seal. But Bond, I think you've done a really good job to get through this afternoon, so we're going to go find you some more of those fish. But please welcome out the next two our friends. This is Keeper Jose and Moby.
Thank you very much, Michelle and Bondi. Didn't they do a great job? Absolutely. Now, as she said, this guy's name is Moby. He is one of the seals that we haven't seen so far. These guys are known as the Australian sea lion. Unfortunately for the species, there's only 10,000 of these guys left in the wild. Their numbers, unfortunately, also continue to decline. He's actually part of our breeding program right here at Taroonga. He is coming up to 9 years old very soon. And he was actually bred right here, as I said, part of that breeding program. He's only just coming into maturity now, so he's actually getting pretty big. His dad was actually 340 kilos, and he's only 175, so he's actually got quite a bit of growing to do. Now, unfortunately, these guys, as I said, there's only 10,000 of them left, and they're only found on the coastline of South Australia and along the southern end of Western Australia. Now, part of caring for our seals is about teaching them behaviours. Moby won't do anything he doesn't want to do. It all comes down to time and trust. Those behaviours can be quite simple, like getting him to open his mouth for a health check. Very nice there, Moby. But those behaviours can also be a little more complicated. What he's doing this afternoon is what we call a high bow. That means he uses his nose to touch the ball in the centre of stage. Now, to do this, he needs your help, so your job is to tell him when to jump, and to do that, you've got to raise your arms up and yell, "Jump, Moby." Before you do, though, he needs a bit of a run-off, so we're going to send him to the top of that cliff. And then when he's there, the rest is up to you. So it's going to be on the count of 3, jump, Moby, eventually. All right. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Jump!
Well, I thought you guys did a fantastic job, but you know what? I'm not sure Moby thought so. Can we ask you, Moby, was that loud enough for you? He said no. Tell you what though, we're going to try it again this time. I think we need a lot more energy, so again on the count of 3, but this time with everything you've got. 1, 2, 3! Oh, we completely failed. I think the ball was actually a little bit too high for him. Should we try it again? Maybe bring the ball down a little bit further? He's a big boy. Oh, sorry, Moby. There it is. It's a bit more manageable, maybe. All right, for the third time, let's make sure it's not 10. Jump, Moby. No, he's not. I'm not even waiting. Hey, we got there. Now, we really do appreciate you coming down and joining us here at Seals for the Wild, but stay right where you are. Our Seals and trainers are coming out for their final farewell. Just remember though, your choices really do matter. The next time you're out there looking for seafood, ask for MSC and you too can be a champion for the wild. Thank you very much and bye for now.
This ago. Well done. Woo!